Hello and welcome to this week's video. My name is Anuska Taylor. So great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. It makes such a difference in helping my videos to reach more people. And today is the fifth video in this mini series I've been doing all about how voice coaching can really help elevate you in your business or career. And we've talked about everything from confidence and persuasiveness and coherence. And last week I talked about power in the voice. All the links are below if you haven't watched those videos. They'll also be at the end of this video. So today we're talking about expression. And this is a really interesting one for me because I find that a lot of professionals really see expression, maybe not consciously, but they really see expression as something that is just for performers, is something that's just for singers or actors or presenters. But actually it is so important that you can access that expression in your voice if you really want to be able to captivate an audience, really engage people and bring them along with you. Whether you are inspiring or motivating a team, or whether you are sharing and teaching, it is so important. So what's really interesting for me is expression is really part of our true nature. We are naturally expressive, and you just have to spend any time around babies or young children to see this. They do not have a problem in expressing themselves. And somewhere along the line, and it's going to vary from person to person, this gets beaten out of us. And we start to shut our voice down, and we start to almost blend in with everyone else. So we don't want to draw too much attention to our voice. So we end up sounding potentially monotone, or we mumble, or we talk really fast, or we talk really slow, but in some way our voice just doesn't shine or stand out or have any power. So just to be clear, when I'm talking about expression, I'm talking about both melodic and dynamic variation. So melodic meaning around pitch, how high or low your voice goes, but also the rhythm of your speech. And does it have that kind of ebb and flow, or is it all really, really slow? Or is it all really, 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 really fast? Is there that kind of movement and that energy behind your voice? And then in terms of dynamics, I'm not only talking about volume, so that you have the ability to vary the volume if you're talking to someone sitting right next to you versus a whole room full of people, and also intensity. So the sort of richness and the depth in your voice. Can you vary that? Or is your voice always loud and always booming, or always quiet and always soft? So we want to be able to access all the colors, all the shades of light and dark in our voice, depending on who we're talking to, what we're talking about, and where we are. So as I said, our voice is naturally expressive. Now, even if you don't remember being a baby or a very young child, which you probably don't, so that seems like an alien concept to you, even just think about, maybe this doesn't happen very often, but there will be moments where you get a glimmer of expression in your voice. If you perceive yourself to be someone that doesn't have a lot of expression in their voice. For example, if you like going to sporting events, or you like going to concerts, music concerts, for example, or festivals, you may find yourself very naturally cheering or screaming or yelling or shouting, or, you know, getting involved in that kind of atmosphere. And you won't even think twice about it because you're so swept up in that world. Equally, if you're someone that likes going on scary roller coasters, and like myself, and maybe like myself, you find yourself screaming a lot. So we have this natural ability to connect to this expression in our voice in these extreme ways when we are very much in the moment, when we're very present, when we're very much in our body. It's when we get into our head, which is where we are most of the time, that we disconnect from that expression. Another very basic example is laughter. You know, you listen to people laugh and there's often a lot of pitch variation. There's a lot of strange noises people make when they laugh, but it's very natural. They're not, I mean, sometimes it's not, admittedly, sometimes there are fake laughs, but when someone is laughing very naturally, there is that expression in the voice. And just on another extreme example as well, I mean, if someone were to break into your home and threaten you with a knife or something horrendous, no doubt you wouldn't hesitate in screaming, shouting, yelling, doing whatever you had to do to get attention and get that person away. So we have this ability to actually access the melodic and the dynamic variation in our voice. It's just most of the time we're in our head and we don't think it's safe or it's acceptable. And this is where the conditioning comes in, which is why a big part of my work is really looking at what's driving your vocal habits. Because for a lot of people, they've been taught it's not okay to shine. It's not okay for your voice to be heard. Just be quiet, go back into the corner. Stop talking so loudly, stop talking, stop shouting. You know, we all hear that. And then as adults, we take that into adulthood and we just shut our voice down. And then we find it very, very hard to access that unless we're in a situation where we are not in our head, as I said, like we're on a roller coaster or a music concert or a sporting event, and we just get swept up in the energy of that environment. And suddenly we find, yeah, my voice actually, I can hit those pitches. I can get that power in my voice when I'm not thinking about it, when I'm not trying. And so this brings me on to what a really important point around expression is that when you are speaking, wherever you're speaking, whatever you're speaking about, whoever you're speaking to, you have to connect to your words. You have to connect to the emotion in yourself, which will then feed into your voice. And you cannot fake this. You can't lie to an audience. The voice never lies. So if you can connect to that, that will feed into your words. And the audience will always feel the emotion that you're feeling. So if you are sort of very much cut off from that emotion and you're completely in your head when you're reading a presentation or a script or whatever, that's what the audience will feel, i.e. not much. But if you can really connect to that in yourself, whatever that emotion is, because it's going to vary. If you're in a pitch, for example, it's going to be quite different to if you're on a book tour and you're reading an excerpt from your book, for example. So it's really being willing and able and courageous enough to connect to the emotion in what you're talking about and allow that to feed into your voice and really start to get into your body when you speak, versus for a lot of people, because they're so anxious, they're totally in their head, worrying about what people are thinking, worrying about, are they going to say the right words? Is it going to come out properly? And all we do then is we just stifle the voice. We sort of shut the voice down. So I really want to talk about this because it's so important. And you already have everything you need within you. This is a key part, the key principle of my work. Everything you need is already within you. It's just really about getting out of your own way and allowing that voice to shine. And yes, we have to do some inner work around that because most of us have been conditioned to in some way suppress or shut down our voice. It's going to look different for different people. It's not also just about quiet voices or mumbled voices. Sometimes people that are very loud and very domineering, that's equally as much of a defense as someone that mumbles and speaks quietly. It just depends what the intention is behind it. And also, can they vary that? Or is it, I'm just loud and domineering in everything that I do? And then you kind of know it's probably more a defense than actually a choice. So expression is so important. You have to be willing to feel and connect to your words if you want that to come through your voice in expression. And then that's when your audience is really going to engage with what you're saying. And you cannot fake it. You cannot fake it. The voice does not lie. as much as you might hope that it does, it really doesn't. So it's all totally possible. It's all within you. You can absolutely access this. It's your true nature to be expressive. So if this resonates with you at all and you think, I need help with this, this is something that's really important for me, please do book yourself a 30-minute voice discovery call. The link is below. I would love to help you. And here we can explore your voice. I can give you some insight into your voice and share with you how I can really support you and help you to access the fullness of your voice, which is what my work is really about. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also comment if you've got any questions or thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. And I will see you on next week's video. Thank you so much for watching.